The penultimate race of qualifying heat day here at Karting Genk is about to get going. Race 20 of the meeting, DD2, the third and final qualifying heats race. Starting off from pole position will be Sebastian Jankowski, who has done the double so far in heats 1 and 2, taking victories in both. Daniel Mahacek from Dams Racing, representing Austria, will be alongside the Polish driver on the front row of the grid. Silas Ritter and Niklas Grenz from Denmark and Germany will line up on row number 2, ahead of Matthias Lund and Austria's Manuel Tenchak. Nick Knowlton and Mark Bartels round out the top 4 rows, ahead of Petr and Jakub Bezel from the Czech Republic, rounding out the top 10. The top 20 is completed by Wout Antonissen, Jordi Klebold, Maxime de Rijk, Nicolas Picot, Glenn van Parijs, who had a DNF unfortunately after just 2 corners in race 2. He starts alongside Zenderua on row 8. Luke Schippers and Jan Negusens, that's row number 9. DJ Liveris and Vili Villainen complete the top 20. Rounding out the 25 strong, Oliver and Florian Breitenbach in 21st and 22nd respectively. And then Johan Andersson, Frederik Jerich and Zander Schriblak. 10 minutes are set on the timer. The red light is illuminated on the starting gantry. And when we get the sign to go racing, it will be out, and it will be every driver for themselves heading into turns 1 and 2 here at the 1,360 meter circuit. The engines are being revved, all powered by Rotax. The penultimate race of the day. The drivers go into the tram lines. The revs rise. Lights are off. And we are racing. And round the outside of Jankowski tries to go Daniel Mahacek, and Niklas Grenz tries to go through. And we've had another incident at the back of the field. The 437 of Luke Schippers and the 411 of Maxime de Rijk are involved. And there is an RS competition kart, I believe. Vili Villainen from Finland also being compromised, as it is nearly 3 abreast as someone goes from absolutely nowhere up the inside, makes it 3 wide through turn 7. As now the 2 leaders starting to try and get away and closing on Jankowski, the Euro Trophy Open winner from 2019, Niklas Grenz from Germany. Definitely fancying an opportunity here. Manuel Tenchak up into P3. Mahacek is now down in 6th position, and Silas Ritter and Mark Bartels ran out the top 5. Zenderua already up from 16th to 11. Glenn van Parijs up to 16th, having dropped initially. Zander Schriblak started 25th and last, is now up into 17th position. Wout Antonissen all the way down in 25th at the minute, as we have 8.5 minutes to go still, plus an additional lap. But it is getting incredibly close at the front of the field, as Mahacek, I think, might be under quick salvo fire, courtesy of Matthias Lund. Nicolas Picot already up into 6th place, and he's now trying to close the gap to Mark Bartels, which is nearly 5.5 tenths of a second. Petr Bezel, who started on 9th, now up to 7th. As Ritter closing on the back of Manuel. Well, he's got past Mark Bartels. So those two have been swapping positions, but then just keeping an eye out for Nicolas Picot, and he's behind them at the moment. Peter Bezel has got Daniel Mahacek. Oh, Nicolas Picot sends it up the inside of Mark Bartels through the inside of turn 10. And he's just signalled to Mark Bartels, hey, come on, work with me. Let's catch the guys in front. Janchevsky puts in the fastest lap of the race and extends the gap out over Germany's Niklas Krenz to 3.5 tenths of a second. Manuel Tenschert makes it 3 different nationalities in the top 3 representing Austria. Make that 4, make that 5 even, when you consider that Silas Ritter from Denmark and Nicolas Picot complete the top 5 at the minute. Unfortunately, it's been an early retirement for Wout Antonissen in the 4:15. So Antonissen has now decided to call it a day. And we'll see how he gets on tomorrow on finals day. Maxime de Riche all the way down in 24th position. But from Nicolas Picot, there is a train of 7 carts. And rounding that out, I think that's possibly, I'm looking, and I've just seen Zenderua. Zenderua now trying to make some moves up the order. Glenn Van Parijs up into P13, move up the inside, trying to attempt that with Zenderua, trying to go up the inside of one of the RS competition carts, and that would have been Matthias Lund from Denmark. As Derua goes up the inside, and that, I'm just looking just behind, Lund has got Glenn Van Parijs, but then Jarni Gussens goes up the inside of the Dane through turn 7. Florian Breitenbach now up into 17th place. 5.5 minutes still to go, plus an additional lap for our penultimate heat here. Well, our penultimate qualifying heat, but our last of 3 heats for DD2. So Janchevsky starting to get a gap, and he's opened it by just over 2 tenths of a second, 0.74 over Niklas Krenz from Germany. Manuel Tenschert still sitting in 3rd position. Silas Ritter and Nicolas Picot are separated from Tenschert to Picot. The gap is about a second between the 3 of them. Mark Bartels, Peter Bezel, Daniel Mahacek, Jakub Bezel, Zenderua, Jarne Gussens, Glenn Van Parijs, Matthias Lund, Oliver Breitenbach and Zander Schriblak round out the top 15. So unfortunately, after 3 laps, Maxime de Riche is now out of the race, along with Wout Antonissen. So 2 Belgians fall by the wayside. There's now Daniel Mahacek, looks ahead and sees Peter Bezel and has Jakub, Peter's brother, just behind, as they now go through into turn 5. And Mahacek looking, can't go through on turn 6. Trying to get the run of momentum through into turn 7. No real slipstream advantage for the Austrian just there. However, there is still time to go. 3 minutes and 52 plus an additional lap left on the counter. Janchevsky looking to stride away once more. And the gap was just under 8.5 tenths of a second last time out, as we now go to complete lap number 7. Gap now nearly a second between 1st and 2nd position, as briefly Ville Villainen had the fastest lap of the race. The Finn now down in 22nd, but Sebastian Janchevsky on lap number 7 of the race sets the fastest lap, 54.457. And from 1st to 10th, that part of the field is covered by just over 4.6 seconds. And that is completed by Zenderua, who is trying to close on the defending champion, Jakub Bezel. So, and has got not just the Czech driver in the crosshairs. You look up ahead, you look, because the driver will look not just one corner ahead, maybe 2, 3 corners ahead, and look at the strategy that they can put in. Because Zenderua has got, ahead of Jakub Bezel, Daniel Mahacek, Peter Bezel, and a little bit further up the road from Germany, Mark Bartels. But the timer is starting to fast count down. 2 minutes and 12 plus an additional lap still to go. Janczewski now has a 1.1 second advantage ahead of Niklas Krenz. Nicolas Picot has done some stellar work. Didn't put in the best qualifying time, had a dismal qualification session, but was able to still set a lap time. And has made sure that he puts himself into effectively the inside of row 3 for tomorrow, I would imagine. But depending, oh, move up the inside of Peter Bezel by Daniel Mahacek. Now Derua has an opportunity as they go through. So Derua goes towards a wider cut back in. And then Jakub Bezel then decides to defend, going towards the inside line, sweeps across the front of the Intrepid. And now Derua will try and get back at them, but then you look behind. Jan Nigussens and Glenn Van Parijs, 2 very accomplished drivers in their own respective rights. And Van Parijs is sizing up Jan Nigussens. Gets up the inside through turn 12. And then here comes Matthias Lund trying to go side by side nearly into turn 2. Can't get it through. Gussen's still trying to find a way past Van Parijs, but can't get through on turn 3. 30 on the clock. This is the penultimate lap of the race, I think, by the way that Janczewski is getting through. He did a 21.623. So we had 51 seconds on the clock when he started this lap. This could be down to the wire. And I think, no, this will be the last lap. Last lap board being shown to Poland's Sebastian Janczewski, who has had, so far, a perfect weekend behind the wheel. A perfect day in the office, if you will. Niklas Krenz still in second and is keeping Manuel Tenschert from Austria at bay. Then it's Silas Ritter, Nicolas Picot, Mark Bartels, DJ Liveris gets past Sander Schürblach for 16th. So Bartels, Mahacek, Peter Bezel, Jakub Bezel and Zenderua round out the top 10. Leader now coming into the right at turn 8 for the final time. And Mahacek did initially try and do something to upset the apple cart. So did Niklas Krenz. But this Polish driver has remained magnanimous in staying ahead, keeping ahead and keeping a cool, calm head despite the hot conditions on those shoulders as he takes a 3rd successive win in 3 qualifying heats. Niklas Krenz from Germany 2nd, Austria's Manuel Tenschert in 3rd. Silas Ritter from Denmark and France's Nicolas Picot take 4th and 5th respectively. Unfortunately, we did have 3 retirements. We had Luke Schippers, Maxim De Hiech and Wotan Thornissen retiring. Schippers on lap 4, De Hiech on lap 3, and Thornissen, I don't think he even made it past sector number 2 on lap 1. So rounding out from 11th onwards, it's Belgium's Glenn Van Parijs from Bouvin Power, Jan Nigussens, Matthias Lund, Oliver Breitenbach, Friedrich Jerich, DJ Liveris, Sander Schürblach, Florian Breitenbach, and then Willy Leinen, Mick Knowlton, Jordi Klebot and Johan Andersson, with Willy Leinen setting the fastest lap of the race on the penultimate lap with a 54.287. That concludes DD2 here on Saturday for the Euro Trophy at Karting Genk.